first thing I want to do this morning is, again, we're going to do a quick workout. Hopefully everyone will follow this at home at some stage or another. We're going to work by opening up the groin and the hips before we start working on our glutes to activate the glutes, work on our legs, and then we're going to move up to the upper body as well. All right, so this is a first session on trim and tone. So here we've got on our mat, got one leg forward, one leg back, both hands on the ground. We're going to basically, I should do it this way so everyone else can see. From here, right, so this foot is in front on the right side, and from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll my ankle out, push my knee towards the side, bring my elbow towards the ground, and then we're going to rotate up. Right, so the reason why we want to do dynamic mobility as the first thing is because we don't want any injuries. Okay, it's better than just doing static stretching, which doesn't really offer us much when we're trying to exercise before the exercise. So later on when you're feeling tight and rigid, you really need to stretch. Do a static stretch, okay, instead of a dynamic one. You can still do dynamic stretch, but it's better for a warm-up drill doing the dynamic stretch than doing the static stretch. Okay, this is why we do these sort of movements. I'm going to do a few more on the right side. So you can see exactly what I've been doing. I'm bringing the elbow towards the ground. If you can't reach your elbow towards the ground, that's okay. You're going to slowly build up to it. You can do the other side now. The same thing. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? Okay. So from here, now that we've done that, we're going to do the second movement, which is called mountain climbers. It's not like the traditional mountain climbers. We're going to go from the outside, and you'll see what that looks like. So here, starting off in a plank position, stepping out to the side, dropping the back knee, bring it back in the middle, do the same thing on the other side, back in the middle, keep moving. Okay, so working through the hip flexors, the groin, about 10 on each side. Right, so I'm not going to keep going because it's going to get a little bit boring, so I want to move on to the next thing so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. We're going to move on to what's called the groiners or groin stretch movement. So it's going to be a little bit of a plyometrics involved where we hop in and hop out a little bit, but I don't want you to jar the body by doing this. So slowly hop in, sit back, then hop back out. And again, back in, sit back, hop back out. Hop in, sit back, hop back out. Hop in, sit back, hop back out. Okay, so pretty simple routine. Just doing that. So this is just to free up your hips, mobilize the whole area, and also freeing up the lower back as well. So now we're ready to pretty much start activating the glutes. Now, if you've got one of these bands at home, this is perfect. You just put this around your knee, so just top of the knee, so where the thighs are. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to go from the lying position on your back, So notice that the band's going to squeeze your knees together. What we want to do is we want to keep the knees in the middle, right, or align with our shoulders. Keep it there as we raise our hips all the way up to the ceiling. So we're doing our glute bridges so we can activate the butt, but we don't want the knees to collapse into the center because we want the butt to move without collapsing through the hips. So the minute the knee comes into the center, the hip starts to rotate in the middle. Okay, so here, squeeze up, back down, squeeze up, back down, squeeze up, back down. Okay, so you can do a couple of sets of those for about 10, and then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to go into a single leg exercise. We're going to have one leg up. So pretty much this leg will line up with the other knee. So it's not going to be one is higher than the other. It's going to pretty much line up with the other knee. From there, raise one leg up to the ceiling, relax. And again, 2, 3, working the hamstring. Yeah, so from the butt to the next level, the hamstring. 4, 5, 6. This one's a pretty hard one. It's quite a, you can feel the burn straight away. And swap. Okay, so I'm not going to keep going there because it's going to get a little bit boring. So we've done that movement. Now we'll move on to the next exercise. So again, do about 2 sets of those for about 12. Really, really feel the burn. And if you want it more workout, do 3 sets for all 2 exercises. Okay. Next movement, we're getting into the thick of really doing the movements and the exercises. Those were fairly much around warming up and activating the muscles. So now we're going to really work the muscle. Okay, from here, what we want to do is we want to do what's called a Romanian deadlift. Okay, which is slightly stiff in the legs. You're working in the hamstring. You're going to use a lot of hamstring strength in order to make this movement, okay, happen. So from here, grab a weight, small weight, okay, a dumbbell or a kettlebell, whatever you've got at home, or even a water bottle. Okay, fill with water, obviously. From here, pull your shoulders back and starting in the standing position. Push your hips right back. Don't bend the knees as much. I want you to just get past the knees and come back. So okay, again, keeping the back nice and straight. Pull the shoulders back and push your hips back. Don't bend the knees as much. Bring it down just past the knees, coming back up, and squeeze your butt at the top. Okay, it's the reason why we squeeze the butt. We want the butt to work as well when we lock out. We don't just want to just work the hamstring and then do nothing at the top. We want to lock the hips out and really work the butt. Okay, again, push your hips out, bend the knees slightly, down mid-shin, coming back up, squeeze your butt. Push your hips out, bend the knees slightly, bring it back up. Now I'm going to do a set of those, about 15. You can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm into mid-shin, coming back up, keeping my knees slightly unlocked. So it's not going any further than maybe 10 to 15 degree flexion in the knees. Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. Right, we're going to supplement that exercise with what's called hamstring curls using the roller. Okay, so the roller, what the roller is going to do is similar to like a Fitball. So if you've got a Fitball, obviously your legs are going to be higher up, okay, but it's going to give you greater range of movement. Here, same sort of thing. What we want to do is we want to keep the roller right underneath your heels before you pull in towards you. Okay, so as you pull in towards you and bring it towards the toes, I want you to raise the hips up to the ceiling. So it looks like this. and back down. Again, 2, 3. Now you can use the band like I did before around the knees, or you can do it without, whichever one is easier for you. Making sure that the knees, again, don't collapse in the middle. Okay, so you're going to get feeling sensation again towards the end of the hamstring attachments down here towards the knee, and also to the back of the calves as well. So again, so this one's a little exercise that I like to include as I'm doing hamstring work, especially when you don't have machines, when you don't have big weights. This is a great way to really tone up that area, the back of the legs. Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. So you're going to do, this time, because it's a proper workout, we're going to do 3 rounds of the hamstring curls and 3 rounds of the Romanian deadlifts. So the one where we were down about mid-shin, bring it back up. So it's not actually a squat, but it's a hamstring dominant exercise. All right, now I'm going to move on to the next thing. I'm going to work on the upper body a little bit today. Okay, so if you can find a band of this sort, okay, either a Revel Sport or one of the sports warehouses in Sydney somewhere, grab one of these if you can. Some things are still open, or order it online. If you don't, that's okay as well, right? What you want to be doing, if you don't, is just using your own body weight to mimic the exercise or the movement. Okay, so for instance, I'm going to be using the band to do things such as bicep curls. So I'm going to bring your body, tilt your body forward a little bit. The reason why I'm tilting is because I don't want to tilt or arch my back, lower back in the process. I want to keep my hips in neutral position when I pull the band towards my shoulders. Okay, so really is to keep a safe lower back. That's why I'm tilting forward a little bit. If I started off in a neutral position, I'm going to rely on leaning or arching my lower back in order to get the rope or band up. So I'm going to tilt forward slightly. Just want to utilize just my arms, keep my arms next to me, and then bend the elbows and bring the fists towards your shoulders. Okay, and again. Yeah, that's bicep curls pretty much. Okay. The next movement I want to do is I want to really stretch out the shoulders and the shoulder blades, work the shoulder blades at the back here. So shoulder blades, in case you don't know, it's those two things in the middle of the back or top of the back that brings the shoulders together. Okay. Or open up the front of the shoulders on the chest. So here, I want to move this up, stretch, back again. Stretch, back again. Again, stretch, back again. Stretch, back again. Okay, once you open that up, you can actually work the shoulders a little bit by pulling them apart. Open up the chest, hold for a second, bring it back in the middle. Again, relax the shoulders, open up. Squeeze the shoulder blades at the back, relax the shoulders, don't shrug, keep the shoulders down. Okay, and again, back down, and again. Good, just giving those a go. Give it a little shake and we'll see what time it is. All right, we've got a bit more time to do a few more exercises in here. So right now, we're going to head back down to doing the lower body. This is what I call pulses. Pulses are going to pretty much burn up legs. It's going to tone up, shape up, but also going to give you that cardio that you need. Okay, so here, it's Pretty simple movement. Going back to that deadlift movement, we're only going to come up halfway. Okay, so if you've got, again, a dumbbell or a water bottle, it'd be a great thing to grab hold of. So if you've got a water bottle, just make sure that the grip's okay, you're holding it properly. And if you've got a kettlebell, you can also use that as well. From here, shoulders pull back, bring it about midway, back down, touch, come up, 2. And I want you to keep moving back and forth, 3, up to 40 for me this session. Okay, 40. We're going to do 4 rounds of that. You're going to have 20-second rest between each one. Okay, so don't come all the way up. So we're going to really concentrate on back of the legs. Hold your core tight so that it's not going to compromise your lower back. You can really feel that burn now. All right, stop it there. Okay, so 40 reps, each set. Let's do that 4 times. Okay. Right, now, once the legs are working, upper body's loosen up, what we're going to try and do now is to stabilize our shoulder and also stabilize our core. So we're going to work into planks. Now with planks, the biggest thing that people have is dropping their hips down. Okay, so when they're doing the movement, trying to keep the body in that plank position is quite hard. So I'm going to show you what you can do here to improve that so that it doesn't dip when we're doing the plank. First thing to do, it's like a setup for a push-up, is make sure that the hands are again evenly spread out across the surface. From there, you can either go on your elbows. Okay, that's okay if you go on your elbows. You want to hold it in the middle. Then notice some people tilt their hips up like this, and that's cheating. It's going to put a lot of pressure on your shoulders, and you're going to tire out in your shoulders, and you're going to stop. Bring it down until it's at a parallel point with the ground. Okay, you want to make sure that the heels aren't tilting down. The heels are in the center, so that everything is rested at 4 points of your elbows and your toes. And again, that's the real hard part. So maybe you can start off by pointing the hips up to the ceiling and then slowly bringing it back down to that parallel point. Again, so if you were struggling here, bring it down slowly, slowly, slowly until you reach the parallel point. Hold for about 10 seconds. 1, 2. You got that? Give it a little break. Okay, try repeating that a few more times until you get the hang of it. Start increasing your length from 10 seconds to 15 seconds to 20 seconds day by day. So maybe you're not going to do it every day, maybe every second day, and try and improve that. Now that's going to also improve your shoulder stability, because you've got to be holding your body in that position. Stability is quite important because that's your base before you can achieve a greater strength level. And if you don't have stability in your movements and your joints, you're going to wobble, you're going to fall apart, you're going to be not able to execute your exercises properly. You won't build or adapt the next level of strength because you don't have that stability in the joint. So you really want to make sure that stability comes first and pay attention to that before you progress to the next level. Okay, so again, plank, point the hips up, bring it down slowly to that parallel point, hold. Remember to keep breathing as well. And relax. Okay, so that's simply it for the core exercise from a plank perspective. There is a much tougher movement out of this for some who wants to go a little bit further, get a bit more advanced with their movement. What you want to do, we go into a slightly wider stance with our feet, slide through the hands, rotate up. Slide through the hands, thread the needle, rotate up. Thread the needle, rotate up. Okay, so like I said, it's a little tougher movement if you're not used to it. It's going to require trunk rotation. It's going to work through the obliques. It's a lot harder on the shoulders as well because you've got to rest on one side. So there's 3 points of contact instead of 4 points of contact. It takes a little while getting used to these things. Just make sure that you give the average plank or the regular plank a go before you start doing the rotational work. Right, we're going to finish up there today. Hope you enjoy the session, and I hope to see you guys soon, and make sure that you do your homework. And if you've got lots of questions, you got anything that you want to ask, please drop an email or write in the comments. I know that no participants in this video, but we will get there. And when we do, I'm going to have lots of comments from people, I'm sure. So it's only a very first, start to all of this. It's very new to me as much as it is to you. So I appreciate that you watching the video, and hopefully that we can see you on the next one.